Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to Trepacer Saturday Reviews. I saw two movies yesterday, which would be Friday. So for Saturday reviews, I saw two movies. I was off from work, so of course, I saw Hunger Games, MockingJay Part 2. If you can see that or not. Sorry about the reflection. But I saw that, and I saw also Secret in Their Eyes. Okay, which is actually a remake. I heard it's supposed to be a remake of, I don't know if it was an Italian film or a foreign, but I know it's a remake of a foreign film. So I'm going to talk about The Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2. Of course, based on the books, the Hunger Games books, and this Mockingjay was split into two movies. Now, the first movie that we saw, I think last year, was kind of set up. In this movie is the conclusion, of course, of the Hunger Games, with Katniss and Gale and everybody else trying to basically overthrow President Snow and marching towards the Capitol. Now, this movie, I have to say, is an improvement over the last one because I think a lot of the last one was like set up for this one. So this one is more action oriented with Katniss and the little crew basically heading towards the Capitol to basically overthrow President Snow. And of course, you have Peeta, who was basically tortured in the last movie and basically set up to kill Katniss, and that's where the movie kind of begins, with the aftermath of that, and with them basically trying to march towards the Capitol. Now, as a conclusion to this series, I thought this was a decent movie. I thought you got the better acting out of this movie actually from Josh Hutcherson, not Josh Hutcherson, yeah, Josh Hutcherson, that's his name, played Peeta. I thought he was very good in this movie. Of course, I thought always Jennifer Lawrence is really good in it, and I think even what's it called? I forget his name. Who played Gale? Liam Neeson's brother. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Gale, who played Liam Neeson. Liam Hemsworth, who plays Gale in this. And Donald Sutherland, as always, is just, even though he's not in the movie as much, he's just, his character, he just plays that part so well. President Snow, just so perfectly evil. and but subtle, not over the top evil and stuff. And Philip Seymour Hoffman, who died in this movie. So, but you can't really tell. I guess towards the end of the movie, he's not around. But they kind of, I guess he filmed the majority of his scenes, so it didn't look like he was missing with no explanation too much. But I thought, and also Julianne Moore is not in the movie, who plays the president. The president Alma Coin, who was in the last movie, of course. Her part isn't as big as well, but her part is pivotal, okay, in this movie. And I thought the action scenes were really good in this. And also, I like Sam Claflin, who plays Finnick. I thought his part wasn't as big. I would have loved him to be in the movie more, but I thought he was good for his limited role that he had. And then you also have Jenna Malone, who had a couple of good scenes in there as well. I thought she was good. Overall, as a conclusion to the series, I thought it was decent, and like I said, definitely better than the other part one. I thought this part was a lot better, a lot more action scenes in this, and a lot more anger, a lot more emotions out of Jennifer Lawrence's character and Katniss in this. So I guess overall as a series, this is good. Even though I didn't think they should have broke up the book, to two movies. I understand why they did it to make more money, but I thought as a conclusion to the series, I thought it ended well. And as far as the triangle, I thought it ended the way I guess it was supposed to end, without spoiling it. Okay, and I kind of understand the reasons why it ended the way it ended. The triangle, why it ended the way it ended. Okay, I understand that from a storytelling point of view. And again, I thought Josh Hutcherson was really good in this part as well. I thought he was really good in this part. So overall, I'm going to have to give The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. I'm going to give it a 7.8. Okay, I'm going to give it a 7.8. Not quite an 8, but a 7.8. I thought it was a decent conclusion to the series. It's definitely better than Part 1. Okay, and I understand all the motivations of the characters. Katniss, Peeta, and Gale. I understand their point of views, I guess, is what I want to say. Okay, so a 7.8 for me for Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Now, Secret in Her Eyes, I want to see this movie because mostly because it starred one of the chance you get to see Julia Roberts and Chiwetel Ejiofor and Nicole Kidman in a movie all together. You know, three top-notch actors in a movie. Okay, and I understand this is a remake, so I've never seen the remake. So, but I do want to see the remake. But this basically is a story about a team of investigators. I guess they're FBI investigators, and this is like right after the a few years after 9/11, and they're basically investigating a mosque and sitting on, you know, like monitoring a mosque to see for any terrorist activity. And Nicole Kidman's character, she's like the new DA in town, and Chiwetel Ejiofor, where I screw up his name, he plays Ray, and Julia Roberts plays Jess, another investigator, and Nicole Kidman is Claire, the FBI investigator. And basically, like if you've seen the trailer, you basically know the story. You know, this team of investigators, they get called to the scene of a murder because it happens outside the mosque that they're monitoring, and they basically discover that Jess's daughter, her teenage daughter, has been brutally, you know, raped and murdered. And okay, so basically that starts them on a path to trying to find out who did it, and it becomes obsessive, of course, naturally for the mother, Jess, and but also for Ray, who was friends with her and her friends with her daughter, of course, and then of course he has, you know, he kind of has a crush on Claire, and she kind of has a mutual kind of crush on each other, and they don't, and they, you know, they kind of flirt back and forth with this. But anyway, this is basically about this obsessive search for her killer, and to try to find her killer and to make him pay for it. And there's all kinds of twists and turns in this movie. Now I heard that the remake is supposed to, not the remake, this is the remake. The original was supposed to be better than this movie, but I thought this movie, they do kind of a flashback present day thing, which kind of gets confusing at times. You have to look for the, you know, they kind of try to age the actors up, and you can sort of tell when they go back and forth, you know, from present time to 13 years later, you know, with, you know, and like I said, Ray becomes obsessed with trying to find and hunt down her killer, you know, Jess's daughter's killer. And of course, Claire is the DA who's trying to help him, but at the same time trying to protect him. And I thought it was a decent movie. Yeah, not the best movie. Like I said, I think it dragged a little bit, and the time shifts back and forth. Sometimes it's confusing. Yeah, you know, that kind of gets kind of old after a while. The jumping back and forth in time. But I thought Julia Roberts was great as Jess. I thought she was, you know, fantastic as, you know, once, you know, her daughter, that she just, you know, she just takes it to another level. I thought she was absolutely outstanding. I thought Chiwetel Ejiofor as Ray was good as well, and I liked his the kind of their relationship, his relationship with Claire, played by Nicole Kidman, because they have this sort of, you know, they kind of they, like you can tell that they like each other, but they can't quite get there. One of those type of relationships that you sometimes you have in life with a person that you know you like, and you know she likes you, but they don't quite get there. And I think that was played very well. But as far as the crime itself, I like the story. It's that the execution, I think, of it wasn't as good as it could have been. Like I said, and there's some twists and turns towards the end of the movie, which kind of did surprise me, those twists and turns. And that's why I want to see the original and see if the original had those same twists and turns that this one had. But overall, it's a well acted movie. I think not the best movie, but I was entertained. Okay, so put it that way. Would I recommend you go see it? Just for the actors themselves? Yeah, because if you like movies, and what else can you get a chance to see Nicole Kidman and Julia Roberts and Chiwetel Ejiofor in a movie all together? That's very rare. You get three top-notch actors in a movie, so that's, you know, it's very rare that you get to see that. Although this, like I said, this isn't the best executed movie. I know a lot of people say that the original was better, so I do want to see this actually makes me want to see the original actually to see, you know, how it differentiates from this one. But I thought this was a decent movie. Not the best. Like I said, I think it dragged a little bit too long, and I think the back and forth through time is a little confusing, and they don't quite pull it off as good as it could have been, I guess. So, but overall, I did find it entertaining. Not the best, but I liked it. And like I said, you got the 3 top-notch actors in it. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, not quite 8, which I wanted this movie to be an 8 or better, but it's not quite that. But I think it's still a decent watch. Okay, and you got this. Like I said, you got 3 top-notch actors in this. I thought Julia Roberts was fantastic, Jess. So was Chidler Ejiofor and Nicole Kidman. I thought they all 3 were, decent in this movie. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think of these 2 movies. Again, I give this a 7. Secret in Their Eyes a 7 out of 10. Hunger Games Part 2, I give that a 7. Let's say 7. Yeah, 7.8. I give that a 7.8. Okay, for the Hunger Games Part 2, MockingJay Part 2. Okay, anyway, let me know what you think of those titles. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long and take care.